Hey guys, Ningen here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and today we are going to be showcasing the fully Extreme Z Awakened Future Trunks. We did the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken and EZA and the Trunks Extreme Z area on the stream earlier today, so shout out to you guys if you were there. So we're going to go ahead and show him off. We're on the Infinite Dragon Ball History versus Androids stage, as the Androids are definitely the best enemies to go up against with this Trunks due to the last part of his passive. So while we wait for him to appear on the rotation, let's briefly go over what he does. His leader skill is now INT types, Ki +2, HP attack and defense 70%. So not bad, probably best used for if you're free to play or fairly new. He'd be decent as a backup leader for Battlefield. But obviously nowadays 70% is a bit low, but it's definitely not terrible considering he is a free-to-play unit. So his super attack is the Heat Dome Attack Extreme, which does supreme damage to the enemy and lowers attack and defense, which is very, very good. We are going to have to... Unfortunately, it is a key-based super attack, so annoyingly that doesn't help us out in this first stage here, so... Let's go ahead and do this. But yeah, he does supreme damage and he lowers attack and defense, so that is very useful. Probably tomorrow's video I am going to try taking him into the future Super Battle Road, because lowering attack and defense is very, very useful. Plus, of course, that factors in when we go through the rest of his passive. So he gets defense plus 100%. Just as standard, which is a very decent, like 100% is a very respectable number, especially for a free-to-play unit. Then he gets attack 100% when facing 2 or fewer enemies, plus an additional 50% attack and a great chance, which is 70%, to perform a crit when there is an androids category enemy. So, as I say, very, very good against androids. And that plays back into what I was saying and why I wanted to finish reading his passive first. But the Future Saga stage of Super Battle Road, the first stage is against 17 and 18, and the second stage is against Cell, so they are all Android category enemies. And then the final stage is against Black and Zamasu, so whilst they are not Androids, it means every single stage of that Super Battle Road is against 2 or fewer enemies. So that part of his passive will always be active. And then, yeah, he'll be fighting an android enemy in the first and second fight. So he's going to be able to do really, really well. This is probably going to be his best rotation now that Super Saiyan Trunks here has transformed. And Mai is a 40% support unit for time travelers. Unfortunately, like I say, because he has an energy super, he's not actually going to deal damage to Dr. Gero here. But this should be the highest attack stat that we see out of him. So... 1.6 mil. I mean, bear in mind he's a free-to-play unit. I would say that that is pretty good. And there's the free level 5 dodge. So, yeah, 1.6 mil, definitely good. Obviously, with no support on the rotation, it's going to be a little bit lower than that. I did bring a bunch of support units. So once our rotations are actually set, we are going to have a support unit in every single slot. So... we should see some decent numbers out of him. And also, I've mentioned it before when I was talking about like farming his super attack and stuff, but those of you who have been around the channel for a while, this is actually the first time I've ever used physical Future Gohan in a video. It's actually the first time I've ever used him in the game. So, 1.2. Well, he's 55%. That's not terrible. But yeah, literally, I pulled him on, whenever it was he was on a banner last, I pulled one copy of him. And I knew, because JP had already had the Future Gohan celebration, I knew that he was going to get a farmable super attack due to the free-to-play physical one awakening. So I've literally just had him sat in my box at super attack 1 this entire time. And obviously now have farmed his super attack, got him up to 55%. And he will now probably continue to sit in my box forever and not do anything. So there you go. I'm going to put Trunks in the middle here, so we can see him tank. Tech Trunks, even with a crit, shouldn't one-shot 18 here. So let's go ahead. And then, of course, the Goku Black is a support unit, one of those split types. We get 20% attack for Future, 20% for Time Travelers, and obviously if they're on both, they get both. And then while we're in this menu, actually, before I forget, let's show the build for Trunks. So I decided to give him a little bit more additional than crit. He's got 12 additional, 9 crit, and then obviously 5 dodge because he's an int unit. I did this because obviously when you go up against an android category enemy, he does have a 70% chance to crit. So you definitely could give him 15 additional and 6 crit. But I was trying to think more in terms of the fact if you are ever using him in a situation where you're not fighting an android enemy, I do still want him to be able to crit. So I thought that would be the best way to go about building him. So let's see what he can get here. So this is the same attack buff that he's getting from Mai, actually. So we should see the same 1.59. I'll be interested to see how well he defends. He should tank incredibly well here because his full passive is active. We've got support, yeah, a couple of thousand damage without having type advantage. That's pretty good. So like I said, bear in mind, of course, whilst he is an EZA unit, and he is fully EZA'd and rainbowed here, of course, he is still a free-to-play unit. So we obviously can't expect, like, crazy numbers out of him. But, I mean, I've been watching J Fanta long enough. I know free-to-play units are getting better now. But he always used to say, as long as a free-to-play unit can break 1,000,000 attack stat, then they are a very good free-to-play unit. So the fact that fully EZA'd with support on the rotation, we are practically getting to 1.7 million. That's pretty good. So obviously the only way we could get any better than that is if we had I guess another support unit instead of the Trunks. But the Tech Trunks, once transformed, is like his best link partner. They share so many links. It's very, very good. So his links, in fact, just to go over them very quickly, he has Golden Warrior, Saiyan Lineage, Super Saiyan, Royal Lineage, Prepared for Battle, Dismal Future, and Fierce Battle. So very common links. Dismal Future is only a key link, but again, it's very common on the Future Saga and Time Travelers teams. Obviously Golden Warrior, Saiyan Lineage, Super Saiyan, all very common on any team that has a bunch of Saiyans on it. Royal Lineage as well for Vegeta family units. So he's got actually a very good link set, and of course because his final awakening to get to this stage before his EZA, he used medals from the Trunks, the actual INT Spirit Sword Trunks Dokkan Fest event. He does have Fierce Battle as well. So unfortunately, as we saw there, he is not quite able to tank super attacks very well. That is due to the fact that obviously although his passive has a lot of text on it, he is only getting 100% defense. So fully looking at what it says on the wiki here, rather than just bringing it up in the menu, but fully EZA'd his stats, he does only have 8,597 defense. So he doesn't have the highest defense in the world, but that's perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and unfortunately we're going to get a Dokkan attack this turn. I would have quite liked to have gotten it with the Trunks, but hey, let's go ahead and take out 17 here, get ourselves a nice full heal with the Tech Trunks. Kind of goes without saying at this point, but like every time I use this Tech Trunks, I'm reminded of just how good he is. So that's just yet another reason that the 5-year banners are going to be hype, because Trunks and Zamasu are of course on LR Vegito's banner. I did only pull one dupe of each of them from their original Dual Dokkan Fest, so I would very much like to get those second dupes, get their other skill tree things unlocked so I can get more crits and additionals. Obviously I'll be going pretty hard on the 5-year, so hopefully I'll end up rainbowing both of them, but you never know. I mean the Trunks and Zamasu, but I mean if I could go ahead and rainbow Gogeta and Vegito, that would be pretty amazing. So I guess we should really put this Trunks in the first slot, because due to his build up he is going to tank incredibly well, even against the Super, whereas unfortunately the Int Trunks, not the best defensive unit. I am at this point now, I'm even more interested to see him in Super Battle Road, because obviously from what we've seen here it seems pretty obvious that without an item active he's not going to be able to tank super well in Super Battle Road, but he should still be pretty good. The fact that he's going to get his full passive active for the first 2 fights means that he's going to be able to dish out this kind of damage that we're seeing here. Very respectable attack stats for a free-to-play unit. So I don't think we're going to take out 16 on the next turn. I think I might transform Trunks. Let's transform Trunks here and go for a final big Spirit Sword attack, because we can grab these, drop these down a little bit, then transform Trunks. Hopefully this will change. If it changes the physical orbs to tech, that will be very good for this Trunks here. But I do quite like ending off videos where I use this Trunks by using his active skill. So, and then going back to the INT Trunks, lastly, he is on a ton of categories as well. So he is on Hybrid Saiyans, Future Saga, Time Travelers, Vegeta's Family, Super Saiyans, the Android Cell Saga, and Bond of Master and Disciple. So he is on a ton of banners. Like, if you did actually summon for the new Future Gohan and you pulled him, then obviously he's going to be very good on his team as well. The only big problem I would say is, whilst he has performed pretty respectively in this video, he is called Super Saiyan Trunks Future, which means you can't use the physical EZA one, the support unit, who I would say is probably still the best Super Saiyan Trunks Future. But it means you also can't use the LR Prime Battle, the AGL one, and you can't use the STR one, the one that is quite a good tank. I think in most scenarios, unless you're running like an STR event, the physical support one is probably still the best. And then, of course, the follow-up is the AGL Prime Battle one. So, unfortunately, this Trunks does have a lot of competition for a spot on your team. So, I definitely think he's a very good unit if you're free-to-play or fairly new. Because, obviously, even if you're new to the game, his Extreme Z area is not super hard. It can be done with just the free-to-play units with no orb investment. I'm probably going to put up a video of that. So, yeah, he's good for newer players. I don't know if I will use him much, but there you go. He did perform pretty respectably in this showcase, I would say. The fact that we quite easily broke 1.5 million on his attack stat shows that he is at least a worthwhile free-to-play unit. Obviously, if you're not free-to-play and you do have all of the other Trunkses, maybe rainbowing him is not the wisest choice for your orbs, but hey, he's a pretty good unit. I like to have all the EZA units rainbowed if I can. So there we go. That is going to be it for the INT Future Trunks. Very solid free-to-play unit. Definitely worth getting him farmed up and getting that Extreme Z area done. So let me know what you think about him down below in the comments. And that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. You can follow me on Twitch or join my Discord. The link is in the description below. And I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.